Now, with Wrexham being in the Championship for the first time in many a season, obviously with their Hollywood backing, it's fair to say that many people are wondering just how well they'll actually get on in England's second tier of football. Obviously, Cardiff City no longer in the Championship, they're in League One, but Swansea City are indeed in the Championship. So Wrexham and Swansea flying the flag for Wales in the English Championship. But just how well, as I say, will Wrexham do in England's second tier? Well, obviously they've brought lots of players throughout their journey to get to the Championship. But let's look now perhaps at the recruitment they'll do this summer and also how well they'll do when the season does get underway in August. So let's go now to our Wales sport correspondent, Charles Hague-Jones. Charles, what can you tell me so far about the recruitment that Wrexham have done this summer and what they're also likely to do for the rest of the summer before the season gets underway, and if anything will perhaps happen after the season gets underway, and just how well they will do when the season gets started in mid-August? Will they be a competitive outfit? Do you think that this will be perhaps a season for more consolidation for Wrexham after back-to-back promotions all the way to the Championship? Or do you think actually they'll be a bit perhaps unsure of how they'll do, and actually will they be fighting for their lives at the bottom, because the Championship, let's be honest, has a lot of good players in it. So how do you think they'll get on, and how do you think Wrexham will fare for the rest of the season to come?
Yeah, obviously a massive story, a massive eyes in terms of the world of sport. We'll be watching Wrexham in the Championship, how they fare, how they get on, how they approach it as well. So many rumours this summer linked with big names, the likes of Jamie Vardy as well at one time, Johnny Evans as well, of course. These are top names, these are top experienced names as well. So, that sort of points to me that immediately they are continuing that transfer strategy of investing in players in the upper 20s, the lower 30s sort of region with experience who have helped them get this far so far. It also started when the takeover came in and they had these top players in the National League. Paul Mullin, obviously the poster boy of Wrexham's journey, he sort of fell away last season a little bit. And possible rumours about fallout with the manager, but that was put aside straight away. He's a Wrexham legend. Wrexham fans completely idolise Paul Mullin and what he's done for the club, and how he can be there before it, how he can be there during it and get them through. The National League was incredibly tight. Obviously went to the final day and in dramatic fashion. League 2 promotion was a bit more smoother. League 1 promotion, that was such a journey, and there was so many stages, even up until the very, very final months and weeks, where you thought Wrexham may have fell away, and Wycombe obviously were that team to do so. Wrexham took full advantage. their home form, unbelievable still under Phil Parkinson. It's just something that they're going to rely on heavily in the Championship, and who knows in the Premier League one day as well, which I'm sure eventually they probably will get there. So. Firstly, let's look at a few things. Let's look at the financial firepower versus sustainability. Now, that's something that a lot of clubs in the Championship just tread water. They lose money every year just to stay up, just to remain. The likes of Bristol City, Norwich City, who sort of linger around the mid-table. It's so tough to break the barrier and go and get the top six and push on to the Premier League. Tactical-wise, can they go through the Championship, continuing that sort of pattern? Who knows? We'll it's yet to see. It's one of the big questions that surrounds them. But bottom line is, under Phil Parkinson, Wrexham has excelled over multiple seasons, especially at home. I feel that's going to be a real feather in their cap this season. They're going to be fantastic at home still, with that fantastic atmosphere, the sort of tight stadium. Teams aren't going to want to come there. Teams who've just been in the Premier League are going to struggle there. Is the way I'm looking at it. I'm sure they'll remain in the Championship. I'd be very surprised if they are down the bottom, come the end of the season. And I feel they can have a real good season and a real building season. Who knows? Can they flirt with the top six? I think maybe not yet, but certainly it awaits to be seen. And people have written Wrexham off for years now, and they've proven everyone wrong, and they'll hope to do so once again.